This morning started off with me crying in the shower, which not something that I normally do ever. It wasn't the best morning, but the thing was right now was that it's okay. A lot of people say it's not okay to cry and stuff like that. It's okay to be upset. What's not okay is to stay upset and let it affect your day. You can be crying the whole day, but if you're doing nothing, if you're just sitting there and crying and not doing anything, that's where it becomes a problem. That you can't sit around. Like, for example, me, I was upset this morning. I was upset like 2 hours ago. I'm feeling better now, but 2 hours ago I was feeling very upset, very alone. But at the same time, even though I was feeling upset and alone, I still edited a bunch of, oh look, there's, wow, Texas, the text, they changed it to text, so, this place, it was, Texas fried chicken, and it's now called, Tex, so, I just saw a bag sitting on the, in the road, in the middle of the road. It was just there. So that was pretty cool to see right now. I didn't expect anyone to be eating text now. I don't know why. I mean, I get it why they change the name to text, for the they don't want to be, they want to have an own brand. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be referred to as like Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to have like their own name thing. Like they want to be like a Burger King, for example. Burger King's not named like Oklahoma's sandwiches, like it's named Burger King. So, but either way, this morning I was very upset, and I'll explain it in a minute why. But the thing was, I was really upset. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't actually listen to really any music. Listened maybe 20 minutes in total, right towards like last hour. But the first couple hours didn't listen to any music. But I made a couple of rash decisions, as you can see with my hair. It's gone, most of it. I don't have the mullet anymore, and I don't have anything really. And I like it like this short hair. Getting into that mode really. The point was I didn't really like my long hair anymore. It was getting too big now, and it made me look like unprofessional and look like a kid a bit. But I want to be like an older adult and stuff. I'm not an older adult, but I don't want to be seen as like a little kid and stuff like that. I don't really know. I wanted to be seen like for my content. If people see me with my big hair and everything, and my hair doesn't look good, then it's like bad and stuff. I was recording the videos, and my sweater had like a white logo on it, so like the captions are also white. So it was like it messed the whole thing up. So I'm really focused on that type of stuff. So I've been focusing on my appearance just to look professional. I don't care about looking good. I just want to not look like I'm like a kid or something like that. So that's something that I did. But I was editing the videos and stuff like that. Had to do all that type of stuff, which I really didn't want to. I was upset this morning and last night really. So what ended up happening was, really, I kept on talking about it I keep talking about it over and over again about how I really feel recently a lot more alone. Alone, and like just loneliness in general. From someone that I've always talked to people my entire life really. Since I came to school, my first year I was in school, I was always the kid that everyone talked to. It was never like a thing like, oh, like, I don't know, looks or something like that. I don't really know, whatever it was. I mean, I always did look alright, but like look good, everything like that. But no, I was always a kid that everyone talked to, just in general. And throughout my whole life, I've always been a kid that everyone's been talking to. So for this last 16 months, I mean, I'm really focused on my sport and stuff like that. And the reason why I don't really talk to anybody is because most of the people, this is what I was talking about before. When you stop focusing on like chasing, attention, drinking, smoking, really figuring out the next girl you're gonna be like with. I don't focus on any of that stuff. I'm focused on improving myself, being the best version of myself and stuff like that. And for a lot of people, they can't really relate to me anymore, And it gets some people a little mad, the fact that it's like they're not like talented in their sport and not as talented, like they've been doing it all their life and stuff like that. They've always been around that sort of like attentions, like around that, like that approval and stuff like that. But like they get more into like drinking and stuff like that, and they sort of like fall off in their sport because like they get so focused on the parties and stuff. They sort of view me as a loser a bit because they don't say it out loud, but they're like he doesn't go to any parties or anything like that. And it's like, yeah, he's a loser because he's not going to parties. Why is he not going to more parties and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? It's not like I wasn't getting invited to all this stuff. I was, but Not all the time, but I was a bit. Like, I'm not saying all the time. Like, my friends weren't like, oh, why'd you miss that party and stuff like that. They didn't care in the slightest, but I had hosts invite me a couple times, but I didn't go because I didn't want to, I wasn't invited all the time. I was invited a few times. Just when I got closer to that one person, I got invited more and more. But yeah, really, it's like a lot of people in high school, when they fall off, they also become more isolated. But for me, it's like the reason why I become so isolated was because I'm doing my sport. A lot of the guys that I see in my area as well, after the high school, I see a lot of them, drinking a lot more, like falling off more, gaining more weight and stuff like that, and like partying more, and I never saw any fun with that. And sometimes, like most of the time, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing, I'm saying the right fact, but sometimes I'm like, why can't I not make a real friend? Like, what I'm saying? Like, my whole life, like, I've never had a real actual friend. I felt like, even when I did now, like the last couple of years, I felt like I made some real friends, like in my high school and stuff like that. And none of them are. None. Zero. Out of like, oh my god, the sun's getting my way. I gotta make this turn real quick, so I gotta merge into this road. This road's always a little weird. Oh my god. And they're taking forever, so yeah, we're gonna take a little bit here. The thing was, I felt really close to the people, some of the people in high school, but the only reason why they were close to me is because they figured out about the stuff, my speech and everything like that, and all the parents afterwards were like really the whole program looked up to me a bit. So I felt like that's why they were more nicer to me, because they started looking up to me, because they're like, oh, he could be a really big thing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even know the weight of us. So oh my god, this road's. Oh my god. Yeah, they didn't know about my weight loss story, but they still heard everything else. Like, oh yeah, he could be a really big thing in this area and everything like that. So then they started being more nicer to me and everything like that, figuring out all my stuff, my come up story. I wasn't some guy who wrestled his whole life. I started late and everything. 10th grade I started wrestling, and from that period before. I don't know, I had a bunch of stuff in my speech, so every single thing might hit people differently when I said each stuff. Because people didn't see me as the nicest person back then, but after that, people started liking me more, and I really felt like I had a lot of friends. But then I realized now, a lot of the people, almost everyone, was just friends with me because, I had that story, that come-up story, and they just wanted to, say in the future, be like, oh yeah, I was a part of his beginning, It's cool to root for the underdog, the guy who's gonna make it, like, it's cool to root for him in the beginning, but when he's actually like starting to do it and starting to get like way bigger, he's quickly going up. At one point you're like, oh wait, this guy's just separating himself from everyone else. This dude got like an ego or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they're thinking. Like, oh, he doesn't deserve my support anymore. He doesn't deserve anything. I realized this a lot more recently with my content thing. That was the first time when I really realized it, because before everyone was supporting me and everything like that. And then when I posted about all my ranked matches that I wrestled against and everything like that, the support sort of started dying a bit. I started getting less and less support. Then that's the same time when I actually put my public name in my content account, actually posting my actual self. That's when I started getting less support there, because now people started seeing it. And, maybe they came up with certain stuff. Maybe some people are mad, like, oh, he's trying to profit off our sport. This kid's not even good. Why is he trying to... Like, they might be thinking, oh, this kid might just terrible. He's just in these matches. He's not actually doing anything. He's lying about it. Then these kids are not ranked. They all were, though. The matches, the kid was top 10 in the country. The D2 guy, the D1 guy who I wrestled was placed as E in his regional tournament. Was not lying about any of those parts. So, and it makes it look like, oh, I'm this big guy, but I'm really not having that. I'm really just trying to, have a positive change. Maybe that's what they're thinking. And that's why I started really getting less and less. So what ended up really happening was the main gist of why I was really upset was, so on Monday evening, I think it was like 5:30, 6:30, I think it was, I posted. I think it's 5:30 or 6:30, I'm not time. I think it was 5:30 actually. I posted on my story just about me Zerker squatting 355, which is probably seen as very good, It's a high number. I couldn't even do 65 back in August. So I'm pretty happy with that, having 355 and at the in late October. So that's really good actually. I did it for reps, but my reps are really bad. So I only posted the one rep where I did good. So yeah, and I posted a long caption about my whole situation, my injury and everything, and just how grateful I am to have the ability to wake up every day, be able to walk, and have clean water. I said that's such a blessing. I was showing really gratitude and everything. I was really saying that oh, I know I have a big role in everything, but I'm just excited to really compete. And maybe saying that I had a big role, maybe people are like, oh, ego, stuff like that. He doesn't have a big role. He's lying. I have a big role in my current college. If I wrestle here, I have a big role here. So that's what I was talking about. And either way, if I was still there, I would have a big role there. I'm a returning starter coming with some crazy lift numbers, crazy jumps. So yeah, and I had the previous matches where I wrestled those high level guys and did well against them. So yeah, I did have a bigger role regardless. And expectations were high for me. At the end of last season, they were crazy high for me, and I failed. But they're still high for me coming back this year. Expectations were high. They were expecting me to come back way stronger, which I did. Except not wrestling for the team that I was wrestling the previous year. Maybe that's sorta. I don't think everyone knows about that though. So I'm really confused about. So what ended up happening was that story. The story is basically what you post. If you don't know what it is, it's where you post it to your It's like a 24-hour thing where you post it and your followers and everybody can see it. So I posted that. It got like 912 views, but something I noticed was strangers were, once again, I talk about constantly, strangers are supporting you but your friends don't. I had strangers supporting me, liking me. I had a few, like 3 friends, really? 2? Yeah, 2 friends actually supporting me out of like the other like 180. And I I literally dig so deep. I'm like, I've waited 10 months for this. I've been waiting so long to post this whole thing. And it's like for some people, adults be like, oh, he's mad about his story. Like, there's people in the world that can't even drink water, and this dude's mad about not having a story. The point is, it's not that. It's that that thing was meant to be like a sort of connection for me. I haven't posted a story in like a month or something like that. Once again, it's like, oh, he's mad about something on social media. This is like, it's not that big of a deal. But the point was, it was meant to, one for me, I was trying to hold it back and really wait. This is supposed to be like my big comeback thing. I've been working so hard in the entire offseason. I haven't told one person about my elbow injury at all. So yeah, that hurt me a bit, but I didn't mind too much. Like maybe, things happened. I don't really know. Maybe they, I don't know, were a little exhausted. I started noticing as well, like as well as content thing as well, like people started showing way less support when I started posting my content. And less support, but they view my profile a lot more. That's what I noticed. A lot more profile views. I get maybe an average of 80 to 100 on my main account profile views a day, which isn't crazy, but it's mostly coming from the people that were close to me. So I'm like, yeah, these dudes will support me. They're my ride, like they're my, they're my boys. And the reason why it's like, why I'm saying that this is such a big deal, like I'm like, people be like, oh, social media is not a big deal or anything, which is true, but this is my only connection really. Like I said, for the last 16 months, I haven't really talked to anybody. I came one time to the school for practice, the high school, for the wrestling practice. I came there one day and was with them for one day. And I went out with one of my friends 2 times to get food. But that was really it. And, I feel like he's been, I don't know what I did wrong, but I feel like he's been really, he's watched my profile. He's my number 1 watched guy on my profile. But I feel like he's the one who's really jealous of me for some reason, which, athletes are jealous of each other, usually comparing themselves to each other, especially because he didn't wrestle in college. He was seen as the big athlete, and I was seen as the other guy. Like, I was seen as the guy who he always did better than. So I feel like he just always constantly comparing himself to me. But the reason why I feel like this is, I've been feeling like it. You've been saying a couple times, quit the sport, really. Like saying I don't know, really been more what do you call it? Distance with me. Doesn't really reply to any. I don't send any reels to him anymore. He doesn't really reply to any of them. barely texted me. So what I ended up doing was, on Tuesday night Tuesday at like 6:40, my legs were shaking as I was doing this. I made a post. The post is called Reloaded, and the hashtag was other side. Other side, a lot of people wouldn't understand what that meant. Some people maybe would think like, oh, other side, like his other side, like it's like, I don't know, really, it's like, I don't know. So it was like one picture of me like looking, like my shoulders and everything were popping out, and like I was like putting the thing around my shoe. I don't know what it's called exactly. I forgot what it's called. It's like on wrestling, right before the match, you put the thing on your shoe. I forgot what it's called right now. This is so bad. Yeah, there's a picture someone took, one of the cameramen took of me last season, so I had that one. I put that in gray, and I had another picture of Muhammad Ali with a bunch of kids. He's praying with them. And then another picture was like, life is not fair, you either die in the jungle, you either live in the jungle or you die, I don't know, something like that. It was a really tough quote, but anyways, the point why I posted that was, it was meant to be like my big comeback post. I posted my story a day ago, really poured everything out, saying and showing that, I'm grateful just to be here, have the opportunity to really have clean water. A lot of people, you don't need to have like some sort of like crazy thing. You don't have to come from like a third world country or stuff like that to be grateful for, having clean water. I'm just thankful for clean water and thankful just to like have the opportunity to really be here, I'm all messed up here. Hopefully this red light goes quicker. My whole car is messed up right now. But yeah, anyways, I posted that, expecting to get some support, some story posts, some comments, stuff like that. And once again, this is all social media. You should not carry this much. The point is, for me, it's like I haven't had much of a connection, so that's why it's more deeper for me, this whole thing. Once again, it's just social media. People don't have clean water. People don't have all this type of stuff. But I posted that in the first hour, and I was like, maybe they're not supporting the content thing because, they don't want to, they want to have their follower count as cool or something like that. So I'm like, all right, that's a little weird, not supporting me. But I've seen them support other guys, so I'm like, maybe it's a little weird. So I'm like, all right, it's whatever. So I ended up getting one comment in the first hour, and it's just one of my friends posting a sheep logo. He actually liked my the story the previous day, and he's been someone that I've been pretty good with. He's been someone who I consider a close friend, and he doesn't wrestle anymore. He quit in my 1 year. He quit for a good reason. We had bad teammates, and they kept on. It was a toxic room, just in general. So he quit. I ended up leaving as well, but I left for different reasons. But at the same time, it was a toxic room and everything. It wasn't a good room. So that's the issue. I thought he was some guy came outside of his car, and I was like, yo, I thought he was gonna I don't know, go after somebody, but nah, he just got outside his car. I don't know what he's doing. But basically, he commented sheep, just a sheep emoji. And the thing was, all my friends started viewing my story and everything like that. I posted on my I posted a repost. I posted on two separate social media platforms about my story, and a lot of people that knew me, a lot of my friends, stuff like that, view my story, but the first, I want to say, 10 hours. 10 hours. This is 10 hours in now. I was expecting to get maybe at least 300 likes by now, which likes don't matter. The point is, it's like showing a sign of support from my friends or anything like that. None. I mean, not none. Like 10 likes. And I'm like, wait. I just posted that story before, really pouring out everything. Showing everything, showing my whole comeback. There's a reason. I'm not just posting this because I want to look cool. I'm showing there's a whole backstory to this. So I'm like, wait up one second. It's a little weird. I went outside for a bit. When I walked around for a bit, I'm like, wait, that's weird. I was checking every single hour. In the beginning, I saw some people like my post straight away. I'm like, yeah, that's sick. But quickly slowed down, and I'm like, why is this all of a sudden? Not this, but why did not support me? And it's not that they weren't supporting me. Here's the thing: they didn't support me at all. They didn't support me on the same day where I put that out. Didn't support me. They then post on the story, posting about another player, a college player who does not know who they are, like a D1 college player, like a good guy who does not know their name or anything like that, and saying how much they love him. And I'm like, wait, I just did this entire, they're all posting because he did something this day or something like that. I don't know exactly what happened, but he did something, and everyone's like posting about it. And I'm like, wait, they're supporting a random guy, but they won't support me. And this once again, this is what I was saying before about this thing. Like, social media creates false enemies and friends. You know, if I never had social media, I wouldn't even be feeling anger towards anybody right now. But the thing is, it's like, I was like, what did I do wrong this time? And it's not just them, it's every single person I felt I had a connection with online. Viewed my story, not one liked. That I felt I had a connection with. I'm wondering now, did my story post from the day before do something to them? Because I was just pouring out my heart. You know, and that's something that I've noticed. Every single time you pour out your heart, you get less support. The reason, I don't know why, but yeah, that's what happened. And you know, it might sound weak to say what I did next, but I deleted my story post off the story, like, of me reposting that public post. I deleted that. I deleted the whole app in general. And then on Instagram, I deleted the story post as well. And then deactivated my account and deleted it. And yeah, deactivated my account. I couldn't delete it because I still have the other accounts that I post on and stuff like that. I was going to delete it, but I deactivated it. After 10 hours of posting, I don't think that ever, like, a lot of people would see that ever. A guy, you know, pour out his heart out and everything like that, post his lip numbers, you know, and then make an actual post the next day, and then just deactivates his account. Like, they would probably wake up in the morning, they probably search my name, and they can't find me. If they did care. And the reason why I deactivated my account was because I'm like, why is this like okay? Why is this okay? The fact that no one actually supports me like, it's like this heavy favoritism as like all the time I face. Like, it's like, as well, like a couple months ago, I had like a practice I went to, and we at the end of the practice, they told all the college wrestlers to go together in a picture, and I take the picture with them, and they cut me out. And it's like, that one made me really upset as well. I started crying after that one as well. I didn't stay upset, but you know, it's once again, like I said before, it's okay to cry. It's not okay to stay upset and just like do nothing with it. I worked hard the next day. I went to the gym the next day and lifted more than probably than all the people who were in that picture. And you know, it's weird because I was the one who was working the hardest in practice. You know, I was really going after the coach, you know, really giving him a hard fight, you know, almost took him down really right away. I'm like, and everyone else was just messing around with each other. Like, they're messing around with the coaches, they're smiling, stuff like that. And when I saw that was the last time I went to that club. It's not weak, like, I didn't stop going there because of that coach or because of that picture. I left because I got hurt, so I couldn't go. So maybe they probably think, oh, we broke him or something like that, but. And this is what I'm saying, this constant feeling of I don't belong, you know? And it's like, it's annoying. Like, maybe people are like didn't like it. That's why I'm saying this like is not just about a like. It's like, I feel like I don't belong here. You know? I feel like I don't belong in the sport. And I feel like every single time I start succeeding, people are like, oh, he doesn't belong here. He doesn't deserve this. You know what I'm saying? He's not this. He's got to stop pretending like he's this, you know? But I didn't peak. I didn't have a genetic peak in high school. I was lifted in my senior year. I started lifting seriously, like consistently and everything like that in my senior year. So I really feel like I don't belong, and that's what the post was. So that's why I really deactivated my account. I'm like, I can't take the stress anymore. You know, call me weak, say I'm weak, or I mean, people think I'm weak, whatever. I don't really care. Some people maybe think, oh, we broke him. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. You know, because none of my teammates on my high school team, you know, who I really thought were really gonna support me, actually liked or anything really. I had a total of three comments then, and you know, one comment was from a teammate of mine who really was supporting me, so I'm thankful for him. Another one was from an old teammate of mine who is in college now, so he probably wasn't part of the. Maybe they sent in the group chat not to like his post. Maybe because all of them didn't. I don't know what happened there. All of them did not like it. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, maybe because the whole team, but not just the team, it's everybody. So like, not everyone could have done it. The guys from my college team, I understand it. I transferred. They probably don't even know what team I'm wrestling for. So, one of my guys who wrestled at the college, who was my friend, they liked the post. He watched the story, didn't like it for a couple hours, and he liked it. But once again, it's not about like that matters. The point is, it's just feeling like I do not belong here, and that's why I was upset when I was crying this morning because. In the shower. That's one reason, because I feel like I do not belong here. I feel like I've never had a real friend, like an actual person that I can talk on day to day right now. If I want to talk to anybody, I can't talk to anybody. I can't text anybody. I can't message anyone. I can't call anybody. And I'm not showing this like say like, oh, poor me and everything. I'm trying to show you that this is the lonely part that I have to go through. Every single college wrestler, every single college athlete, every single person, it has to go through this chapter at one point of their lives. Feeling like you have absolutely nobody. And I mean like 0 people. I'm saying like, I don't feel like anyone cares that I'm even here or not. Like being in the sport. I feel like if I quit the sport tomorrow, people will be like, oh yeah, that's exactly what we wanted, I feel like because I started getting more attention, stuff like that, and started getting more of this and that, people got more mad. It's like when I was coming up and everything, but the first when I started my first college season and everything like that, everyone was supporting me so much. Even as well, when I came back to the school halfway through my season, which a lot of people didn't know that was actually the end of my season when I came, because that's when I got hurt. That's why I came there. I was getting so much support, and it's just like I just don't feel like I belong anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I don't have a club, like any college. I reached back to my college team. This is what I'm saying as well, that I don't belong here. I reached back to my college team, emailed him, didn't get a response. I have none of my teammates even asking me where I am or anything. Like no one seems to even care in the slightest about anything that's happening. So that's what I'm saying. I really feel like I don't belong in this sport. That's a common thing, imposter syndrome. But I don't feel like I belong on this earth. Like I feel like I don't party, I don't drink, I don't do any of that stuff. And I'm like, maybe that's weird. Maybe I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I don't belong here because everyone does that. If everyone's doing it, maybe of course most people view them as weak or something like that. But at the same time, they can't all be doing it if they all like there's got to be something to it. So for me, maybe that's where I was really feeling at the time, where I was feeling very alone. I was feeling like I didn't really belong. I maybe was in the wrong state, and then all of a sudden my content account last night takes off. Like not takes off, but it gets the views on the thing, get 1.5k views and gets 90 likes. And that's better than most of my videos right now. I mean, I had another video recently also get 1.2k views, but the difference between this one was it got over, I should have signaled that earlier, it got over 15 followers, 16, 17, I don't really know exactly how much it got, 17 I think at least. And the reason why was because it showed my authentic personality. I was being authentic, being my natural self. I'm like, I saw a deer right here actually. Saw a deer right here. And I put up on the camera and showed my shocked emotion and everything like that. But here's why this thing's hitting me hard right now. More hard. I used to go to middle school, elementary school, and there's combined elementary school and middle school at East Hampton. So these guys, I haven't talked to in 8 years. Most of these guys last night, one of them found my account, I think, and maybe sent it to all of them. One guy sent it, maybe he found it and sent it. Everyone's story, I got a couple likes, a couple guys viewed my story, stuff like that. So I'm like that when they started viewing my story, and I figured out that they were all, I didn't know exactly one of their names. One of them texted me, and I didn't know exactly who he was. I'm gonna be real. I think I remember him, but I do remember his name, but I don't remember exactly who he was in the 6th grade, the last year I was there. But it was a long time ago, so they still remember me. I haven't even searched up any of their names in a year, ever, really. One of them I did. I had him added. He unfollowed me. He was trying to increase his following, kind of keep it low. So it's cool. I don't really care. He used to have 2,000 following. Now he's only 300. So he followed that content account though yesterday. But they were all starting to follow the account and they started liking it. One guy was texting me. He's like, "Did you go to East Hampton, the middle school, in 6th grade?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let's go." He's like, "I'm so happy to he's like the legend himself." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was like texting some couple of stuff, and I deactivated the account. So I liked his message, but I deactivated the account like minutes later. So I mean, like hours later. So maybe he thinks I blocked him, but he sees the content account still and everything like that. And he followed the content account, and all these guys are now following the content account and everything like that. They're supporting me and everything like that. And I'm thinking to myself, these guys who I have not seen in 7 years, these were my boys and everything like that, but I haven't seen these dudes in 7 years. So I'm like, these dudes that I haven't seen in 7 years are all supporting me, all found my content account, all supporting me. And I have dudes that I thought were my closest friends, the people who I literally live close to and everything like that. These dudes are not even supporting the main post, my main post, not my content account. Just in general, they're not supporting that anyways, but my main post. And that's why I deactivated. I'm like, you know what? I'm done with these guys, you know? I didn't block them. I deactivated completely. So I'm like, I'm off this social media now. I don't want it to be affecting my life. I'm never going to be thinking about these guys again because as long as I'm on social media, always in the back of my head, I'm always going to want to keep on, improving myself so I can post it and, get validation from these people who do not matter. So I'm like, you know what? I'm done with these guys. I'm doing my own thing. You know, and it's like these dudes that were supporting me. I haven't thought of them in years, but when I was seeing all their names and everything, that I was thinking back in the memories. I'm like, these dudes are my actual friends. You know what I'm saying? Like all my other people now in my other school, they're not my friends. They're people that respect me and they're good with me. And, I'm an athlete and they're an athlete, so they respect me like that and stuff like that. But they're not my actual friends, to be honest. Like they weren't people I would hang out with. These dudes, these people in my old place, I would hang out with them. Like, I wouldn't personally go to their house and stuff like that, but we would play outside every single day, Like, we were playing outside in the soccer field every single day. We had a whole competition. It was so much fun. It was the best time, playing outside in the soccer field, all of us, Then I moved to this place, and we didn't even have an outside to play with, but there's this whole soccer field, and it was insane. But, of course, in middle school as well, when I moved here, I was still known across everybody. I was friends with everybody, but in high school, things started drifting apart, I changed a lot after 1 year. But after I lost the weight, I changed a lot. So I'm like, these dudes are all supporting me. And I'm like, my people that I consider close and the people who I support so much and everything, didn't support me at all. So I'm like, I deactivated. I didn't want to, I was thinking about it, but I'm like, who cares? So at that point, I turned off the comments and just deactivated my account. I don't care what people think right now, but I generally think it was a lesson for me from, a lesson to be like, this is like, you guys stop. It was a message for me. Like, it was a lesson. And I think the lesson for me was, you guys stop thinking, you guys stop chasing this approval of people. You guys stay off the social media and, do your own thing. Because all these people around you aren't your real friends. None of them are. Everyone who I thought was my main real friends because they were viewing my stories, maybe liking them, viewing my stories fast, viewing my profile a lot, weren't my closest friends at all. So that's why I was not upset just because of that. So this morning, you can see my hair. I got really upset this morning. I'm not upset. I was like, I hate the long hair now. I can't do this anymore. I was like, maybe the long hair, maybe some people, I was like thinking about myself, maybe they saw my content account and saw my big hair and maybe they didn't like it. So I'm like, I'm getting rid of my hair. So I asked if I can get my hair cut, and I couldn't get it on time. So I'm like, I don't care anymore. I'm getting I got the shaver, started shaving my hair. And this front part I did good for the most part. There's a little spot here, but everything else was good for the most part. The back, I couldn't see the back in my whole mullet, so I started doing that, and I messed it up really bad. Right now, it's good now and everything like that. I got it fixed, but it was really bad and everything. And then when I had that, so I got it fixed and everything. And when I was in the shower, then I just started crying because I'm like, I ruined everything. I'm like, I don't belong here, That's what I felt like. I'm like, no one ever grabs their shaver and starts shaving it. their hair. So I'm like, I don't belong here. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was really upset. But then I'm like, who cares at the end of the day? I still got work to do. I got content to post. I got stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? And this is a point that everyone's gonna have to go through. And people can see my live reaction being a college wrestler, and now being a college wrestler who has no support. This is not like a fake story where people are like, I have no one supporting me, and then they eventually do well. Right now, I had a crazy jump in the off season, so I know I'm gonna do well, and I'm excited for the season. But at the same time, every single one of my coaches gone, every single one of my people who I thought supported me gone. No one, the whole community of wrestling might think of me as a joke right now. I don't know what they think of me because they're not supporting me, but they watch everything. So I'm like, do they think of me as stupid, whatever? I don't know. So like, yeah, everyone's doing that. So you can really see this is a real authentic story where you can see everything. There's no no cameras or anything, like crazy cameras and everything, like the whole crew coming and recording the whole journey. I'm doing this on my own, showing that. Oh my god! Open my door. I'm opening my window. I'm all over the place, but showing that I'm doing this all on my own. So yeah, I'm gonna go now to my class. I'm about to get late now, but I'll be back, and I gotta record some videos. Hopefully, it's not dark by then, because I don't know how that's gonna work. I have one video to record today. Not too much to record. I'm thinking about doing it a different way. So yeah, I'm gonna do that right now, and I really show my whole emotions right now and everything. But yeah, really, it's hard really right now. It's fun when you're succeeding and everything, but I'm on the come up right now, and it's the reason why a lot of people fear making content and being their authentic self, because everyone just stop supporting me. Everyone's laughing at me now. I think probably are, because they're not supporting me. So what else are they doing? Probably hate me. And it's like weird because I was gonna text one guy as well who like didn't say nice stuff to me when I posted it and everything like that, but it's like I was gonna text him being like, you're gonna do like big things this season, because I was really thinking that. I was gonna text him that and be like, yeah, you got a ton of potential, you got like crazy drive and everything, and it's like, yeah, it's like I don't really feel like in the sport I belong here. So I get nervous not even going to practices because I feel like I don't belong here. I don't feel like I belong anywhere, but it's not me like saying poor me. I'm saying this is my real reaction because I know I'm gonna get out of this. I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna be the best. I believe it. I believe I'm gonna be the best I possibly can be. I'm never gonna be lazy. I'm gonna do everything in my power to be the best possible version of myself. And that's why I'm showing this, because I know I'm gonna do it. I know that no one's gonna hold me back. No one's ever gonna tell me that I can't do it. I'm gonna do it. I've so much time, even last year when I was coming up in college, everyone would make me feel like I didn't belong here. So that's why I was feeling like this year I felt like I maybe belonged more, I don't know. Yeah. Woo! So right now I just finished classes around 40 minutes ago, actually. A while ago. I've been just looking outside for a bit. It looks amazing out. This campus looks incredible at nighttime. Oh my god. The whole flashlights at the football stadium and everything. My batteries and stuff was low, so I had to come back to this car as soon as possible. But you know what? A couple of days, like maybe like next week or something like that, I'm not going to be coming here till next. No, I'm coming here tomorrow, but I don't come here at nighttime. I'm going to start walking around this place a little bit. I'm at this college now. Make the best out of this. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful place. A little bit actually. I don't know. I mean, if this is the #1 public university in New York, then you know what I'm saying. Like, you gotta make the other colleges wouldn't be as good as this one. A lot of people from the outside see this as like a really high area, and some of the kids there from my old high school seeing me here, we're like, I just could get in here. And to be honest now, with my current grade situation and everything like that, I really shouldn't be here. But I mean, you can get like an inside of this area. You can give like you can get an insight, like how an F student, an F student's perspective of this college. Because let's be honest, if I didn't go to my college last year and did exactly what I did last year, I wouldn't be here right now. And, it is so beautiful out. Oh my god. This driving in the dark right here, like here. It looks amazing. Oh my god. This is like the amazing part of this place, I feel like. I feel like it's not that cool when you I don't know why my pants is being a little weird right now, but yeah, what do you call it? It's beautiful, like it's amazing at nighttime. Throughout the day, it doesn't look as good, I feel like. But at nighttime, this place looks amazing. Imagine walking like through this area at nighttime back then. Maybe I should have came here more at nighttime. This looks amazing. If I had night classes, like I would love to come here at nighttime and just come to these night classes. This is it's 5:30 right now. It's not even late right now. It's like really dark outside, but it's really 5:30. And the thing is that there's like, oh, let this person go. Like it looks like no one's outside right now. It's 5:30. It's so dark outside. You know what I'm saying? But it's like this is crazy. Like this is so cool being here. This light situation is a little annoying. How the flashlights or how the lights come at you. That's a little annoying. But overall, it's just amazing. A lot of people say one of my teachers said driving at night with the I remember this a lot because this stuck with me. I don't know why. One of my health teachers, she said that driving in the dark, like while playing music, it's the best feeling in the world. Maybe if I was listening to like some I don't know, Katy Perry songs, it would be cool. But I haven't drove in the nighttime till about right now, and I'm feeling a little better. I did some recording a little bit, like 5 videos, which it went by really quick because I figured out a way to do it. Hopefully it comes out good. I have to do more editing now, like with the audio and everything. But hopefully it comes out good at the end. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, do people drive that far out? This place is actually huge. I'm only in one section of this area. All my classes and everything are in one area. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole. Maybe I explore this one day because I'm at this college. I might as well do something here. You know what I'm saying? Because the current area where I'm at is not the greatest. So might as well just explore it. You know what I'm saying? Because really, at the end of the day, sure, as well, here I don't feel like I fit. Like I was talking about before, I don't feel like I fit in with the college athletes. I don't feel like I fit in with these kids here. You know what I'm saying? Because they're all really smart, most of them, and I'm not smart. I'm just hard working. I'm not smart. I got here because I worked hard. I didn't get here because I was smart. I'm not smart at all. And I'm not even interested in the school anymore. The only reason why I was interested in the school, that's why I did so well in my first year of college, because the higher your grades are, the easier you are to be recruited. It's more colleges want to take you in because you have access to a lot more money and you're a lot more appealing. That's the thing in high school as well. A lot of the kids as well, and then when they go into high school, the freshman year, they'll take easy classes and stuff like that, or not hard classes, because they want to get as highest grades as possible. They work super hard in the classroom, and most of them will commit in the summer before their junior year, because that's when how they say the junior year is usually the hardest year. So afterwards they can slack off in the grades a little bit because they got committed. So, and all their scholarships or everything I think were mostly athletic scholarship, maybe academic scholarships. They're still into it, but that's why I was so focused onto it, because I was really focused on transferring to another college. This one as well. Before, I thought this college was going to be completely different to the experience that I'm having right now. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting this. How everything, but my current situation in I don't know, my whole life and everything also wasn't the greatest since the start. My whole health issues and everything like that, and just feeling very I talked about is you feel very alone as well. The thing is, though, by the first year of college, everyone gets their friend groups and everything. The thing with me was I lived far away from my old college. And, I didn't really have the chance to really even talk to anybody. I didn't even talk that much to my teammates. Anyway, I was really getting after it. You gotta understand, I started off as a no-name in college, and I did something incredible. And the thing is, even though I did that incredible thing, not everyone knows about it. So some people still treat me like I was the the person that was a senior, that was crying about his issues, crying about all his stuff, having like a little pity post because he did so bad his senior year and everyone wrote him off. It just was. I was just really focused, and I had goals, and I really went after them, and I hit the goals and everything like that. But I can't do that actually. But yeah, I hit not really actually. I hit some of them. Like I wasn't like if you told me back in June time, I'd be wrestling D1 teams in dual meets, I wouldn't know how to. I didn't even think I was gonna be a starter. I'm gonna keep it like 100. I didn't think I was gonna start in college. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a shock to me. I was fighting for the starting. If I was, here's the thing though, I was fighting for 184. That's why I went down all the way down to 184 because they didn't have an actual. Their 184 guy got injured, I think it was, and they had their other 184 guy, like the guy who they took as 184. He was wrestling 165, I think, or 157. So he was really underweight, and the other team didn't even have a 184 in their bracket. So 184 is perfect for me. I'll go there. But yeah, then they added another team in the region. Because last year the 184 guy, he got an auto qualification. Why am I messing up this word? Auto qualification. Oh, what? Auto qualification. I was saying quad. That's why I was messing it up. Qualification to nationals, and he's a region champ. Just because he came and made weight. So a little strange, but I don't even know the exact full story. Maybe the kid that he was supposed to wrestle missed weight, but then they didn't have the roster was really tight back then. The reason why it was a lot more bigger was because of that the rule was I don't know, really weird, but yeah, like a lot of schools got expanded and stuff like that. I feel like as well, I don't know, really something happened last year. I think it was also that you'll see a lot more kids as well in college now drop down to JUCO. I didn't see it a lot. Like a lot of the good guys go to JUCO still. I saw some of them, but I didn't really see a lot of good guys go to JUCO. Because the JUCO lost that it doesn't count for eligibility, so a lot of the guys are going there. But for the what do you call it? For the a thing that happened a lot in the I saw a lot was in the second semester, a lot of the D1 guys who weren't getting mat time or anything like that, they transferred to JUCO for the second semester. And the reason why they did that was they can automatically get in, they can wrestle low competition, and they save a year of their eligibility. You know what I'm saying? They already had that D1 experience, which they were in the room and everything. They have that whole mat time and everything, so they're used to it now. Why tell me to go left? Oh well, I'll go left. I'm on the wrong side of the road. This is why the whole thing's all messed up here. Now that was the right way to go, so that's chill. But yeah, a lot of the guys did that, and overall at that time period, I was doing really well. I really felt like I was I belonged somewhere. People finally cared about me for one time in my life, and I felt that's why it was so hard when I had that elbow injury, because I was like, people actually care about. I have an important role. The coach started texting. The coach didn't care about me before. And after those matches, he started texting me more. He was texting me like, "Oh, be here. Oh, I went to your practice," stuff like that. And he actually cared. Like people actually started caring about me. And I'm like, I've never experienced that in my life. Anyone caring about like any coaches or any teammate. And I've always never really got. Besides my first year of high school, where even then I still fought with one of the seniors. I used to kick him in the back while he was running and drilling and stuff like that. I don't know why exactly. Now he made fun of one guy one time on the team, and he made him quit. So I started I was kicking him in the back eventually after I saw that. Or he made him cry and quit. So yeah, I was a little mean to him, but he was 2 years older than me, a lot more stronger. So yeah. But afterwards, me and him were boys, and that was really it. Everyone else I was really good with everybody. But then, I was really good with everybody. But back then, our high school team. Oh my god! felt my water open. We didn't have anyone that was really, like talk to a lot of guys in school. It was mostly just me. So I was the most known and everything. But like then afterwards, a lot of people, got jealous of me. And overall that was the thing though. I never got along with my high school teammates after that. Never got along with my coaches. And just never really got along with anybody. So like having that time where I like felt like I belonged in a group, it really felt amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like it really felt like, I don't know how to explain it. I always felt invisible all the time. I started the sport late, and everyone's like, oh yeah, you'll never make it. You won't even start in high school because you were so late into the sport. In the first year I did so bad. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't understand, a thing called improvement. And like I had crazy jumps every year, but I feel like everyone just views me off that one year. Like I feel like just one match, it's just everyone just doesn't let go of that one match. And it's weird because they'll let go of it for everyone else, but for me, for some reason, no one lets go of the match. Why am I going this way? Is this the right way to even go? I think I'll go this way. I'll just follow whatever this thing tells me to go. So, it's probably the right way anyways. But, yeah, it's like, I feel like everyone's just like really against me. And the more, it's like I didn't feel this way that much when the season ended. This is when I started feeling this way, was when that coach cut me out of that picture, really, and that whole thing before. So I said hi as well to one of the guys who I knew and everything like that. He ignored me, and he was I don't think he knew I was wrestling in college. He later saw my profile and everything like that, but at the time I don't think he knew I was wrestling in college. So he actually egoed me because he was so I ended up. Why am I going this? What is going on here? Bro, what are you doing? Yo, what are you... Calm down, but I don't ever get mad on the road, but he just didn't even let me go. Oh my god, I could have risked my life there. Well, I'm here right now, so I'm lucky to be alive. But yeah, he egoed me because at the time he was a finalist in his section. He didn't place the states or anything. I'm not even mad at him. I don't really care too much, but he egoed me. I don't think he even heard me. I said it very quietly, so that was on me. I don't really care. But the point was he went from not qualifying the year before to actually placing the finals. He got I think he got pinned really quickly, but he was like the kid was a state champ, so he was really good. Like he was really good, very very strong. He was cutting a lot of weight, so he didn't really stand a chance against him, to be honest. But he ended up committing to a D1 team. They were I talked about before, Bloomsburg, and they're a D1 team that I don't know anyone who ever told them, like, as a kid, ever thought to themselves, yeah, I want to go to Bloomsburg and wrestle there. But because the thing is, like, people like will go to the D1 schools sometimes. I don't, like, because maybe for hype and stuff, but also for like the gear and stuff. But like, if you wear Bloomsburg gear, everyone's gonna think it's a D2 school, so no one's gonna know wrestling's a D1 thing unless they really know into wrestling. So they were considered not really the best team, but he still went there. I don't know how much money he's paying for it. I don't know why you would do that, because a lot of these guys, D1 guys, that go there are very good. So I don't know why he'd really go there. I mean, if he really wants, he's trying to push past his limits, and that's really all. So, but the thing was, when he ignored me and stuff like that, even then, like later on, he would just walk past me and stuff like that, and it was weird. Maybe he just thought I was a scrub. At the time, he didn't know I was a college wrestler, so he probably thought I was terrible. So he like egoed me a bit. Well, not terrible. I wrestled him before, and when we wrestled in a match, he destroyed me like 2 years ago. I think it was now. Yeah. Very good. I was like, how is this kid? He said that it was his first year wrestling, and I'm like, no way. This kid feels amazing. He did like more, I think martial arts and stuff like that since he was a kid. So he had experience. I was like, there's no way he's wrestling first year, because he was like doing lat drops and stuff like that. Like, he was really good with that. That's all he does. But yeah, he egoed me, and then another guy also. Well, I don't have an ego as well at all. I feel like that's the thing with me. When I come to these college practices in the off season, like when I come to practice in the off season, I'm not there for a status show or anything like that, or an ego show or anything like that. I'm there because I want to improve. You know, like, I came there because I want to improve. You know, so one time I got the coach's leg, and I didn't get finished a shot, and he like came up to me afterwards, and he was like, one of the college guys who, I don't know, he was a starter, so I'm not gonna say anything about him. He was good in high schools, much better than me. So yeah, overall he came up to me, just like, he helped me out a bit, and I don't know if it was just him being nice or anything, but yeah, he didn't really know who I was, which I don't take any disrespect to that. I'm not a big shot. I'm just a guy who's trying to do his best, and you know, a lot of the other guys there will have a little bit of ego, stuff like that, but I don't care. I'm here to wrestle. I'm not here for an ego show. I don't care about image. I don't care the slice about any of that stuff. It hurts me, you know, doing like getting cut out of that picture. It hurt because, you know, I worked so hard. I worked so hard to get up to this point, and I'm like, but at the time I wanted to be in the picture, not because I wanted to be in the picture, because they posted to the story, and I wanted the other people to see that I was in the picture. That's why I got mad in the picture. And I feel like that's why now I don't have social media. Like, on my deactivated my account. Of course, I still have it on my other accounts. The thing is, well, the reason why I don't count it still as me having social media is because I don't view anyone's profile, because I can't see anybody's account or anything like that. I can't see anybody, so, you know, I can't see anybody's profile. So I'm technically off social media, not completely. Like, I'm still getting that dopamine a little bit if I click it, and I had that little urge sometimes to click it a bit and, you know, go off of it instantly. But yeah, I'm not viewing anyone's profile or anything like that. I'm just, you know, doing my own thing, really. And, you know, like, it's just rough a little bit, just thinking that, like, you have literally, but this is the thing though. I know in March time I'm gonna peak. I know it. I'm gonna do it. I don't care if one coach, no coach, nobody's rooting for me right now. No one's rooting for me. I don't think you understand. No one. I'm not saying none of my family believes I'm gonna do it, first of all, which I don't blame them. They saw my last match, and it was bad when I had that elbow injury, and I tried fighting through it. It was bad. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was really bad, and I came back a lot more stronger, but nobody truly understands how much stronger I got, how much better I feel on the mat, and everyone just putting I have no support whatsoever. I'm not saying that in a mad, grudging way. I'm saying that, you know, like, I don't have anybody. You know, I don't have anybody. People just like me because I was doing well and it looked good to be friends with me. But like, just in general, nobody is actually my friend. No, I have no support right now. I'm just driving in the middle of the dark right now. I don't even know what college team I'm gonna wrestle for right now. I don't know what my knee's gonna get, my whole injury and everything. Everything is wrong with me, and I'm just saying that right now you can see that, like, everything for me is not going the right way right now. But I believe that I know it, that this is building me to be stronger. Mentally, I'm getting so much more tougher now. Now I'm off social media. I'm so mentally tough now that this college game is 100% mental. And I know I'm going to do well. I know it. And if I don't do well, I'm going to do so well online. Everything. My business, my whole coaching accounts, my whole content account, everything's going to do well. Because I'm going to put everything into it. And I'm going to focus not on showing that I can make it. I'm going to focus on proving myself and being the best I possibly can be. And making sure not a single opponent can ever break me. I don't care. No coach will ever break me. Never. Never. I'm going to, every single time a coach keeps making me do extra sprints, I'm going to smile in his face and be like, I'm going to tell him, give me more. I want more sprints. I'd rather die in practice than die on the match. You I'd rather die in practice than lose the match and feel like, oh, if I worked harder in practice. I've had that feeling before, and it's the worst feeling in the world. People say, oh, losing a match is the worst feeling in the world. Sure, that sucks. But losing a match when you knew you could have beat him if you just worked harder in practice is the worst feeling in the world. I will never let anyone in the world ever outwork me. There will never be a single wrestler. I don't care if he beats me, if he's this or that. I don't care. He will never outwork me. So he could be chasing girls, he could be doing all sorts of bad stuff, but he has more talent than me, he's stronger than me, and he beats me. Alright, fine, that's cool. But he will never outwork me in his life. He will never, ever, ever go to sleep. He will go to sleep every single night knowing that I outworked him. He will never, every single coach that doubted me every single night will go to sleep knowing that I am going to go after it every single day and work harder and harder and beat their guy who they thought was better than me every single day. All their starters, everybody, I'm going to make sure I'm going to destroy every single one of them. I look at every single practice when I wasn't starting in college in the beginning, when I wasn't even on the travel team in the beginning. I looked at all of them and I'm like, I'm going to beat these guys in every single sprint. I'm going to make sure these guys never do more push-ups than me. They're leaving after practice, they're laughing, they're smiling, they're going to hang out with their friends, they're going to go out for Halloween. I'm going to do extra work. I'm going to do extra sprints. I'm going to go out and lift after practice. I don't care. I'm going to make sure I'm going to beat out all these guys. I'm never letting a single kid in the world ever go to sleep and know that he outworked me. No one will ever outwork me. No one ever. I'm going to take all this anger that I got right now and use it and do something beneficial with this. I don't care about no one's support. I don't do this for validation. I do this for myself. I want to go to sleep every single night knowing that I started off at the lowest possible point any person could. Majority of people can start off at. I start off at a low point, and I want every single day. I push myself. I can't go to sleep knowing that I could have done better. I can't. People will say in like 20 years something, be like, oh, I regret not working harder. If I go a day without not working harder, I can't go to sleep. I will never let anyone in this world ever outwork me. And same thing with all the opponents. I see all these other guys, all these other college athletes getting comfortable. I will never get comfortable. I don't care if I have this image or whatever it is. I don't care. I have no image. I have no image until I'm an All-American. No pressure until I'm All-American. Nothing, all right? Nothing. There's no pressure until you're an All-American. You don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you win a couple matches. Oh, you have a better image. You look better. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden you have this high ego and be like, oh, yeah, I'm this and that. And you know what I'm saying? No one talks to me. No coach tells me what to do. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? No coach will ever break me in their life. No partner will ever break me. No opponent will ever break me. Back when I had my torn elbow in that match, back when he was like cross face hitting me, he was like hitting me in the face, talking in my ear. I kept on going after him. I would not break. My elbow was destroyed. I could not do anything. But I did not after that match, I wanted him to know that he didn't break me. He was talking in my ear. He was cross-face punching me in my face. Everything. He was wrestling dirty and everything. But I wanted him to go to sleep that night knowing that he didn't break me. Even though he beat me on the mat that day, he did not beat me mentally. I won the game mentally. And I'm stronger in that way. You know what I'm saying? He did not beat me that day mentally. He beat me on the mat, but in terms of the mind and everything, I won. And I don't care. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I tore my elbow. My season's over. It sucks, but I can't go back. You know what I'm saying? And I took that same energy, I took that same anger, and I applied it to everything right now. And I'm still going after it. I got 4 years, and you know what I'm saying? I am going to do well. You know what I'm saying? I work as hard as possible every single day. No one will ever outwork me. Making sure nobody. I don't know how some people are asking how can I work harder? How can I do this? I would wake. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go live. Sure, some people do that, but I don't care. I'm only focused on what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? and swimming in the cold pool, in the cold water, you know what I'm saying? Some people fear that cold water. I love the cold water. You wanna know why I love the cold water? Because no one else will do it. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love waking up in the morning, going for runs, racing against the cars that are up against me. You know why I love doing that? Because I know no one else will do it. I know everyone else has so much potential. Maybe they're stronger than me. Maybe they're more technical, better than me. But they will never have the ability to go up in the morning and start swimming in the cold water. That's where my confidence comes from. You know, that's what I love. You know what I'm saying? They will never be able to outwork me in my life. You know what I'm saying? In this whole thing, this whole content, everything, no one will ever outwork me. You know what I'm saying? I will never let anyone ever outwork me. You know, one time I went to this practice one time. You know, everyone was like not messing around. They were like skipping the reps and push-ups. You know what I'm saying? Like the coach was like telling them, "Oh, do push-ups, do this, do that, do that." And these guys were like doing half reps and stuff like that. And I was getting so mad and everything like that because, you know, I want my team to do the best they possibly can do. You know what I'm saying? This is back in high school. This is a couple of weeks before the season began, so we had to really get into it. But none of the guys showed up. None of the guys who the coach saw as their main guy really showed up. You wanna know why? Because they were getting too comfortable. You know what they were doing instead? They went to a volleyball game, a girls' volleyball game. And I saw them afterwards, they were waving me hi to me. And I just ignored them. I'm like, what are you doing? We have a season coming up, and these guys want to like go to like girls' volleyball games. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like even like, I don't care if they did better than me that year. They're not doing better than me now, and they'll never be able to outwork me. Never, any single one of my opponents will be able to outwork me. And some people ask me, "Oh, how are you improving so much? Oh, you started off at this point." You know, losers always remind you about where you started. You know what I'm saying? Because I started off at a low point. You know what I'm saying? I started off at a bad point. And every single year, I make crazy jumps. You know why? Because I don't care about other people. I don't believe other people's opinion. You know, I don't believe that other people have minds, you know what I'm saying? I only care about what I'm doing. And you know, overall, you know, I had to vent a little bit there, but you know, overall, like seriously though, like you know, it's like you gotta have that energy a bit, you know what I'm saying? I'm always like more like, you know, down to earth and everything, but at the end of the day, I'm still a college wrestler, you know what I'm saying? And I still work really hard, and you know, I always get like so disrespected all the time, but like I feel like maybe like, you know, I don't feel like even when I become like when I do well in college wrestling and everything like that, because I have 4 years, I believe I'm gonna do well, and in the whole content game and everything, and the whole coaching thing. I don't know how long term the coaching is gonna be. I gotta see about that. Maybe I start doing that then later, once a week, something like that. You know, the reason why I can do it so much right now is because it's early on and I have plenty of time and stuff like that. Then I have to do more. I'll get more clients then later. Right now I don't have a lot of clients, so I have only a couple. I'll be honest. So yeah, right now though I have a lot more time, so I do have a lot of stuff. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like my wins are gonna be what, like, you know, people look back on and be like, yeah, that was it. I feel like it's gonna be my mentality, and that's what I want to be remembered as. I don't care about my wins and stuff like that. I want to be known for like my mentality. I don't care. Once again, I don't care about what other people think, but you know, I want people like to, you know, not like other people. I want like some of the athletes, someone that like I wish I had somebody like this. You know, someone that like, you know, was just mentally tough. You know, never went out, never drank, never smoked, never chased anybody. You know, I don't even talk to anybody right now because everyone around me is like, that I know isn't doing well, so like isn't like the good person for me. So I'm really just focused on myself, really, and you know, like I just want to like really show that like you can start off anywhere. You can start off at being overweight. You can start off with not having the best upbringing. You know, not even having like living in the best household in the beginning. You know, you can do anything really. You know, if you really like set your mind to it. You know, coming out of high school, I was benching 185. You know what I'm saying? Going to my senior year, I was benching 185. No college wrestler is barely even able to bench his body weight and ends up wrestling in college well, and ends up lifting what I can do. I was only able to squat 245, which might sound decent, but you know, a lot of the guys are wrapping out. Like a lot of guys can squat like 315. You know, do much more at a lighter weight. You know, some guys are like 160 and they're squatting 315. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe at the football room I saw some died a couple times. You know, the guys were heavier, so they were lifting more because you know they were heavier. But at the end of the day, like you can really, it doesn't really matter about the genetics. It doesn't matter about any of that stuff. It just matters about being the hardest worker. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about the wins. I don't care about the losses. I don't care about anything. No one will ever mentally beat me. No one will ever. They can beat me on the mat. No one's ever beating me mentally. And the reason why that's so important is recently I saw this guy. I won't mention his name. I don't even know his name. But yeah, I saw him do really well at the D1 Open tournament. The reason why was because the club that I don't really like, I still watch some. I was watching some of the stuff. Now I'm off social media, but yeah, I saw him posting about all the stuff that he was doing. Him doing really well in his D1 Open tournament. And I'm happy for him. Not happy. I'm not mad at him. But I'm saying it's kind of impressive. Wasn't expecting that from him. You know, maybe I think it was maybe a younger tournament. Maybe that's why he did well. If it was against like seniors and stuff, I mean, a lot of D1 Open tournament. It was maybe a low level D1 Open, so that's maybe why. But no, he did really well though. So and I was like, but the thing was like he's like one that you know, he's like chases like a ton of like girls, does bad stuff, and you know he got it. And it's like, sure, he got that, but where's he gonna be in 5 years? That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like someone who has wins, is technically good, been wrestling like with their technique, they're good, been wrestling all their lives and everything like that, has a high image and everything like that. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be known for my mentality. I want to be known for someone that never backed down. You know, someone that been kicked over and over again, been beat up over and over again, but never worked, never quit. You know what I'm saying? Every single person, I'm not exaggerating, there is no one right now supporting me. No one. But I'm going after this every single day and making sure no one will ever outwork me. And you can see this live day to day. You can see every single week all this stuff that's happening to me. You can see yesterday I failed my midterm. You can, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, the upload that's from yesterday. I failed the midterm. You know, after putting my heart into it, you can see how the health issues really destroy my friendships. Like in general, just in campus, like I barely been able to talk to anybody anymore. You can see the practice, my first practice I went to, and you can see how afterwards I got injured again. You can see as well how my eligibility thing. You can see my whole thing right now. You can see how hard I'm fighting. So when I get there later in March, when I do peak March, that's the whole goal right now. Just get strong. I'm very stronger than most of the guys there, so just focus on getting even more stronger, getting able to control the weight more, and being able to really push past limits. Because I don't know a lot of guys who are squatting 355 per reps, even though they weren't the cleanest, they were still reps. So just the first rep was clean, so I count that one. I'll count as 2. You know, that was 3, but my back was all just messed up, so that's the only issue. Because I was trying to go really deep, but my back got messed up while doing. Like, it looked messed up, like it wasn't actually, but yeah, I just want to be known as the hardest worker. And, you know, it's really see in March, like time, you can like when people look back on all this, you can see everything. You know, no one starts off as like when I started off as overweight and everything like that, no one was supporting me as well. So I understand everything. So yeah, that's another day.